Claiming the pair of them on the outside. Three-way go, what a beauty. Show No Emotion, Theatre and Chavog with Scandinavia behind them. Show No Emotion and Theatre now. Show No Emotion, Theatre, Theatre, Show No Emotion, Theatre. Theatre and nose, Show No Emotion. I'd say they're right across the track. Scandinavia out wide, prominent for third from Chavog, who rolled back to the inside, and Flavours close up. I think Theatre's got it. It's a photo. Well, you couldn't have a more competitive small horse field than that. What a great finish. 58.3. Judges called for a photo. Theatre and Show No Emotion. And Show No Emotion has got it, number 2. Show No Emotion has got there on the outside. Oh, I'm staggered. 2, 6 and 3 it is. 2, 6 and 3. Show No Emotion, Natural Builder has got the photo on the outside from Theatre and Scandinavia. Well, there you go. Show No Emotion has got it on the outside from Theatre. I thought he's certainly in front. Here's the post. They're a few metres off the post. And, well, there. Yeah, he's got it. There's the official photo. Yes, a half-head victory for Theatre. He's got there on the outside with Scandinavia wide out grabbing third. Show No Emotion. He's been a shade too good in a thrilling finish to the race, and which tricked me, I must say. I thought Theatre had a slight margin there, but Show No Emotion has grabbed him on the post out wide to win. Always been a very good sprinter, as we were saying before the race. That fourth in the Stradbroke was a ripper. He hadn't actually been able to win a race, though, since September of '97 when he won the Ascot Vale. He had a few problems in the interim. Been out off the racing scene more often than he was on it, but on his song, he's one of the better sprinters around, and he's proven that with this victory today. Show No Emotion by Masterclass from Flying Melody to pay $5.10 and $2.60. Theatre second, just beaten in the last hop of the race, ridden by Darren Gauci. Had that tongue lolling around like he usually does again too, and he was inclined just to run about a little bit at the top of the straight. Chavog's rolled back to the inside, got into the worst part of the track possibly, and he's weakened to run fifth actually in the field of 5. Searching for these totes, which seem to have deserted me for the time being. They're not through as yet anyway. 2, 6 and 3. Their margin officially half a head. Long neck. Another long neck. So 2, 6 and 3. 22.94 they sprinted home. And a narrow, strong victory for Show No Emotion. Well, I don't think any of them would lose any of their supporters with those performances. They're all terrific runs, really, every one of them. You could find an excuse even for the horse who's run 5th in a field of 5.
Very competitive race, great race too. Only a small field, but a great finish, and Show No Emotion getting there. Doombin's 5 minutes off as they're almost set Canberra. 8.25 and a Shalar, 9.90 Characterised, 2.40 Hula City is the favourite. Home and Hose 7.20 and 15 Special Night. Tips. And Alan Thomas selecting 5, 2, 3, set Canberra.
This is race 3. Blue Light and One Shoe Light's thrown away his winning chance. He's galloped out the back, but on settling and out wide, Supreme Time has cut across quickly. Sir Sigma Light's trying to go with it as the corner comes up. Nick along the ground away safely to 3rd. Then Kickatin along Kid, who's got to 4th. As Supreme Time buckle on that first corner. Behind them, Big Mamu. Aussie Gourmet's got well back to second last of the main division. Georgette is last of the pack, and right out of it is One Shoe Light. A lap and a half out now, and Sir Sigma Light showed the way. Getting to second again, Supreme Time after an early buckle. 3rd, Nick along the ground, perched up behind the leader, and 1-1 Kickatin along Kid. Getting to 5th, Big Mamu. She's racing one off Solo. Behind them, Georgette, then Aussie Gourmet, and Forget All About One Shoe Light. On the side of the track, 30.4. First section, speed's been genuine, and in front showing the way, Sir Sigma Light. Leads by only a metre to second the outside, Supreme Time. Buried away third. The leader's back, Nick along ground as the bell sounds. Kick a 10 along kid is fourth. Behind them, Aussie Gourmet. Then Big Marmoose, who's settled well, second last. Georgette is last of the main division. And forget about One Shoe Light. They're past the judge. Slowing up to 31.9 second section, and Sir Sigma Light shows the way. Up on the outside, Supreme Time with it a metre. Nick along the ground, buried away third, can't get out at the moment. Fourth is Kick a 10 along kid, being trailed up by Big Marmoo. Further back to Aussie Gourmet, Georgette and One Shoe Light. So down the back straight they race, and there's naught between Supreme Time, the outside. Looks to be going a bit better than Sir Sigma Light. Kick a 10 along kid and the 1-1 yet to peel. No run yet for Nick along the ground. Here's Big Marmoo sprinting quickly over Aussie Gourmet and Georgette. You could throw a tea towel over them. Third quarter in 32.9. Beaten Sir Sigma Light were out wide Big Marmoo. Race to a narrow lead over Kick a 10 along kid. Georgette gets to third. Nick along the ground's got clear, might be too late, and behind them next is Supreme Time, well beaten, but in the straight, and Big Marmoo, the narrow leader, coming after it. Georgette back to the inside, Kick a 10 along kid, and Nick along the ground late. Georgette coming out after Big Marmoo. Big Marmoo in front though, and will hold on. Big Marmoo holds off Georgette. Third, Kick a 10 along kid, and the late finishing Nick along the ground. Then Aussie Gourmet, Sir Sigma Light knocked up. So did Supreme Time, and One Shoe Light is last home.
So number 7, Big Marmoo gets the money. 12.44.20 over 9, Georgette 3 even, and Kick a 10 along kid at 3.87.95 it will be. At the start, Doomben, and it's 9.25 Zip Ego, 3 Andeshalar at 7.35. 14 Characterize, 5 Hula City 2.45, then down to 7 Rich and Famous 13, 14 Matt Ray, 9 Home and Hosed at 7.80, 33 Nifson, then over to the others, 13 Special Night and Reuben Sun at 48. Had to put them in there at Doomben. The previous at Caulfield, the Churnside won brilliantly by 2. Show No Emotion, Enraw Willa, 5.10 260 over 6 Theatre, 150, and 3 Scandinavia no third. Quinella, 660, and the 263 trifecta, 51.40 after the running of the Churnside at Caulfield. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you race 6 at Doomben on Sky Racer, and 21 is Morris. And they're starting to move in. This will be followed. Now, 8's got third at Bendigo. 5, 3 and 8, Sambo for third. And it'll be 26, 25, 10, 1, 43, 40. Now, Parkland's, the first of our Twilight Greyhound races, comes up after the next at Murray Bridge. Summer Silk at 4.75. 2 Nice Drop 3.05. 4 Hitman 29. 5 Sunburnt Mariah at 4.35. 6 Rolls Sands at 4.70, 29 Olympic Series, 18 Sweet Tears, and Our Senorita is 12 to 1. 6-2-1 from Paul, race 1 Parklands. Now they're set at Murray Bridge. Here's Ron.
Smoke-free Murray Bridge Cup. Light is flashing. Away they go. And it looked a pretty tidy start. Rider of Comrade Park is fighting the horse to try and settle him back in behind the field. And as they work down to the 400 into the straight and link up into the course proper, Tembo Tembe, the jumper's gone across the field to lead. Morris is getting squeezed back in the ruck there as they shuffle for early positions. But it's Tembo Tembe, the leader from Tarna's Lad. There's no pace on. Third placing Celamine. Fourth King's Landing getting a nice run inside of Deborah's Daughter, who broke out before the race. Over on the inside running next was Morris. Then Scrupulous with his head down on his chest from Fly with Eagles. Comrade Park is pulling against that rider, and over on the outside last with him was Sovereign Court. Out of the straight they go, and Tembo Tembe the leader. Paul Gatt took a peep across to size up his immediate opposition, and he found that Tarna's Lad, one of the fancied runners, was nice and handy to him within about a length and a half. Celamine is out wider. Morris back on the fence was fourth. Deborah's Daughter settling better now fifth with 1,600 to run. 3 lengths King's Landing, 1 1/4 further back. Then came Scrupulous, followed on the outside a half away by Sovereign Court. 1 1/4 to Fly with Eagles, and a half the inside. Last of all is Comrade Park. 1,400 metres out in the cup at Murray Bridge, and Celamine took over by a length and a half from Tembo Tembe. 2 1/2 away Tarna's Lad. Now there's a break of 4 lengths to King's Landing, racing up. In fact, it's not King's Landing. It's Deborah's Daughter racing on the outside of Morris. Then 2 1/2 to 3 lengths away King's Landing, Scrupulous, followed by Sovereign Court, Fly with Eagles, and Comrade Park. Celamine just putting a little bit more pace on as they go to the 1,000 along the far side by a length and 3/4 to 2 over over Tembo Tembe. 2.5 away then came Deborah's Daughter, moving up on the inside of Tana's Lad. Now they start to move up from behind. King's Landing outside of Morris, then Sovereign Court outside of Scrupulous. A length away Fly with Eagles, 1.5 away the locally trained Comrade Park down the hill. Salamine the leader. Young Gat goes now on Tembe to have another crack at it. Third placing Tana's Lad, fourth Deborah's Daughter. They were followed by King's Landing. Morris under pressure, passed by Scrupulous, and further back in the field Sovereign Court. Fly with Eagles is last, and just inside of it was Comrade Park. Around the turn Tembo Tembe got 3/4 in front of Salamine in the sprint for home. Third placing Deborah's Daughter with Tana's Lad. King's Landing under the whip, but Tembo Tembe. Young Gat pulls the persuader. It's a length and a half in front. Here's Tana's Lad winding up, and Deborah's Daughter sticks on pretty well. Tembo Tembe shifts back to the rail. It's still in front. It's holding on. Second placing Tana's Lad. Then came Scrupulous. Tembo Tembe still in front. Trying hard Tana's Lad, but this young kid, young Paul Gat, I think is going to win the cup, and he has. Tembo Tembe gets home at huge odds. Tana's Lad second, third on the outside, Scrupulous. Then Deborah's Daughter, Comrade Park, followed out wider by Fly with Eagles. King's Landing, another ordinary run. Salamine further back in the field, Sovereign Court, and Morris was last.
Yeah, he's a great little rider, this bloke, isn't he, Paul Gat? And he's got home on Tembo Tembe to pay $28.60 and $4.50 in the Murray Bridge Gold Cup. Now, Parklands is right on start time. Summer Silk, 3:35. Nice Drop, 4:25. Sunburt Mariah, 5:40. Roll Sands, 4:30. They're the fancied runners for this first event at Parklands. As they're moving them in, Canberra's a minute off too. Natharan is at 8:10. 5:10, Larissa's Friend. Down to 6, Lady of Distinction, 5:90. Funny, the favourite is 8. Money Matters at 2:50. Now they're set at Parklands, his fourth event, and Natharan is at 8:10. Down to 16's The Last Bell. Larissa's Friend at 5:10. It's firmed up. Henry Head at 16. Lady of Distinction is now 5:90. Flight Time 15, and Money Matters the favourite at 2:50 with 13s for Ison Bob. The tips there in this event, David Steele likes 8, 6, 4. Now, some late mail coming through. Yes, in fact it is for the Lady of Distinction in this race. Wayne Driscoll, the driver, and Sam Nadai declares for it, number 6, Lady of Distinction. Now, Bendigo, the previous event. 5 Golden Brad was the winner, 26, 25, 10. 3 Model Material, $1.40, and 8 Sambo paid $3.40. Quinella, 43.60, and the 538 trifecta, $1,427. Race 6 at Bendigo. Caulfield is 4 minutes off. The 7th, and Quiet Style 9s. Lucy's Way 6. 3 Miss Perron, 4.90. 4 Touch of Fantasy at 9.20. Bung Lung at 10. Zar Tiara at 8.30. Discretion 14. Shiosaki at 44. Tiki Tadua at 32. Fuss is at $9. 39 Risky. Flirty Bird 18, and Lum Monnery at $20. That's the 7th at Caulfield. Tips, and here Greg likes 3, 6, 2. Miss Perron, Zar Tiara, Lucy's Way. And Rod Galagas likes Bunglan, which was showing at 10s. Sean Mears, the rider. So you've got all the tips now. They're moving up. Let's see what happens in this next event, which is race 4 from Canberra. And once again, back to David Steele.
Straight. Not far away from a start here, Canberra race 4. With Money Matters, the fave, drawn the second line. We'll soon know all about it. Ison Bob's going to miss it. We have a false start. A false start after race 4. Henry Head was galloping, and Ison Bob well back from the line. So Henry Head and Ison Bob, the stragglers, and the starter has declared a false start after the first attempt, Canberra race 4.
Right, thanks, David. Bit unfortunate about that because we're thick on with races for this next period too, with Parklands about to kick in. Oh, well, it has kicked in, so we've got them coming thick and fast. And shortly, Maitland too will join in. Now, Murray Bridge, Tembo Tembe at 28.80 and 4.50 over 5 Tana's Lad 180. 1 Scrupulous 150. Quinella 93.20. The 851 trifecta $910. Race 6 Murray Bridge. Now, at the start at Caulfield, previous at Parklands, and 2 nice drop, 395, 135, 6 roll.
National Capital harness racing on a beautiful spring day. Now the Theron has galloped. This is probably going to be a problem here too. All over the shop, false start. So we're not having much luck here. Driver of Theron, Ron Weigold, has been tipped out of the sulky here. As you can see, he's picked himself up. He's okay. Is Ron Weigold. The horse, though, Natharan, is continuing, just leaving the home straight here. He'll have to be arrested by the clerk of the course, so it's bad luck for the Canberra Harness Racing Club.
Well, there won't be a clash now. We'll get this Caulfield race in because they've got those problems there at Caulfield. It's been a bit of a nightmare for them, that 4th event. Okay. Now, Caulfield, the 7th event, as we take you back to Greg Miles.
Touch of Fantasy, one from the outside, Fuss to take the outside gate. Last call from the betting ring. Round 9 to 2, Miss Perron favourite over Lucy's Way and Zar Tiara. All set. Lamormanidi inside. Off. Miss Perron began reasonably in a middle position. One of the first out, Quiet Style. Risky was out quickly. Lamormanidi settling third on the inside. Discretion jump well. Bunglung in the pink colours is going up, and Fuss in the lime is out a bit wider and heading forward as well, and then Tinikadua. As they climb the hill, Quiet Style left alone by half a length to Risky up second. Bunglung third on the outside of Lamormanidi. 2 Fuss outside Discretion. 1.5 Miss Perron middle of the field on the rail. Touch of Fantasy working up outside her. Lucy's Way in that bunch, and over on the outside is Tinikadua. 2 lengths Flirty Bird followed by Zar Tiara, and wide and last Shiosaki. 900 to go, and Quiet Style has gone through the first half of the race very slowly, leading a half length to Risky and 2 lengths to Bunglung. A Nick Lamormanidi fourth on the inside, and they're followed by Fuss. Round the outside Tinikadua, Touch of Fantasy wide, Discretion over on the rails. One further back in the field, then Lucy's Way. Shiosaki deep around the outside of Zar Tiara. Miss Perron has got shuffled back to second last. Flirty Bird is last by the 600. And Quiet Style the leader, a half in front of Risky. On the outside of them is Fuss, Tinikadua. Touch of Fantasy coming the widest when they swept to the turn. Shiosaki getting a cart round the outside. Then Bunglung needing a run. Miss Perron is last coming into the straight. Quiet Style against the rail, led from Risky. Wider out Fuss. Bunglung down to the inside. Touch of Fantasy wide. Shiosaki the deepest, and then Zar Tiara. Risky got up on the outside to tackle Quiet Style. Bunglung. Touch of Fantasy out wide is running on hard. Touch of Fantasy out on the outside has taken the lead now. Here's Lucy's Way trying to pick it back, but Touch of Fantasy in front and one from Lucy's Way second. Photo third. Shiosaki or Zar Tiara ahead of Risky and Fuss. They're followed in by Flirty Bird out wide, making some ground. Quiet Style over on the rails. Back behind those was Bunglung, Lamormanidi. They were trailed in towards the end as Discretion. Miss Perron had no luck in the run, and Fuss was one of the last. One more coming in here at the end, Tinikadua.
So Touch of Fantasy gets the prize at Caulfield. Greg Giles, the rider, as he drives her away to win from Lucy's Way, who was a bit unlucky, got blocked for a run at a crucial stage. 9:53, 42, 20 Lucy's, and a photo for third. We'll get that number in a moment. Now, the Canberra event, they're still at the start. We had that, we look like we might have a late scratching at Canberra, and we'll get that in a second. Now, Maitland, who's got third at Caulfield? 8? No. So it's Caulfield. And at 9:53, 42, 20, and Shiosaki certainly putting a lot of value into the trifecta there to pay over $12. Now, there they are at Maitland at the start. As we take 3.
Ice and Bob just back a length or so, but it is a start. And once again, Henry Head on his worst behaviour has galloped out the back. On settling though and beginning quickly, Larissa's Friend. Goes straight to the lead over Sir Chester. The last bell is prominent. Flight Time getting through from the second line. So for that matter, the favourite Money Matters. He's going to end up 1-1 here in a moment. 2 away to Lady of Distinction. Slow to get going is Ice and Bob, and forget about Henry Head. The first starter, he's galloped out the back. Settling down in the last bell took over now as they race to the back straight. Money Matters, though, the favourite, looming up to eyeball the front runner. And Scott Woodhouse looks for the lead here. These two go together. Lying third is Larissa's Friend, and then Sir Chester fourth, coming one off. Through on the inside goes Flight Time, Lady of Distinction. A big gap off, a big margin to Ice and Bob. Similarly, Henry Head is distance last of all. First quarter in 31.4 as they swing round the corner, and the driver of the last bell wanted to retain the front running. 9.50 out now. Money Matters perched up the outside. He's death seating behind the leader. It is Larissa's Friend, then Sir Chester 1-1. Nailed away on the inside is Flight Time, followed by Lady of Distinction. She's had a neat run, three back the outside. Ice and Bob has made up plenty of territory, and tailed off is Henry Head. Second quarter in 32.6, and they're on their way home now, where the last bell has led them most of the journey. He's out 3 or 4 metres to Money Matters, just tapped up to keep his mind on the job. Behind the leader, it's Larissa's Friend, Sir Chester, well placed. Lady of Distinction's about to peel wide and sprint quickly. Behind them, Flight Time, and then Ice and Bob. Down the back straight, though, and the last bell under plenty of pressure. Money Matters has got to it, but Lady of Distinction strides up 3 wide to join the leaders. Behind them, Sir Chester, Larissa's Friend, Ice and Bob is wide as they speed off the back straight in 32.9. Looks a 2-horse war where Money Matters battles back, gets 1.5 metres in front of Lady of Distinction, who once again is closing the gap. 3 away to Sir Chester and Ice and Bob, but they wheel for home. They're homeward bound. On the inside, Money Matters finds 1 metre now too to Lady of Distinction, whose run might have come to an end. Running on Sir Chester. Money Matters has gone to the inside, might throw it away, and Lady of Distinction has come again after looking beaten to score. Second, well, Money Matters has been second across the line. Sir Chester will probably end up getting second over Ice and Bob, close up Flight Time, then Larissa's Friend, and one of the last home, the last bell with Henry Head.
Okay, well, that was certainly an eventful race. By the time it got started, it still ended up as amazing. Lady of Distinction, 382.10. And we'll await those minors because there was all kinds of drama there at the finish. So I think you'll find you'll be okay with the 6 winning, though. Now, Doomben is a minute off, and we've got Dana Mora now right into odds on at $1.95. Prince Equus $5.65, Fine Spy $12.
$8.70, number 2, Smooth Grove. 4:01 the journey. And this is our second event. And Barella Xanadu, recent winner of the Big Maiden at Dapto, is the favourite, number 1, for Dave Brett, 165 and 105. $8.20, number 6, Goa. $8.70, number 2, Smooth Grove. 4:01 the journey.
Catching. Set at Canberra.
False start. So once again, we have our problems here. Obviously some trouble in the middle of the field. It was very hard to tell who the offender was, but the starter quickly has put the red light on, meaning that we have another false start here after the first attempt at the best Belconnen Smash repairs pace. So plenty of incident here at Canberra today. We had a horse in the previous, Money Matters.
Okay, we'll leave Canberra there with that false start again, and they're certainly having their problems there today. Now, Caulfield is 3 minutes off. 1 Prince Charming 470, 2 Seeing Star 790. 3 Al Barami is at 240. 4 Zabwan at 570. 5 Jugabout 12. 7 Kiwi Cheval 15. Kalina Raffin at 24. And the other one is Scratch, number 11. Scratching is over the page, so they're almost back again at the start there at Canberra. They'll get them away fairly quickly, hopefully before Caulfield. Murray Bridge the previous. 2 1 Denison Ruler, 340 150. 2 6 second Bet on Black, 290. And 4 Dynamic Lady, 190. Quinella, 2250. And the 164 Trifecta, 169.40. Race 7 at Murray Bridge. They're at the start at Caulfield. Parkland's in the previous. And the winner, 10 Deleeby, 32.85, 580. Warren Mang, $1.10. 9 Cairns Cab, 165. Quinella, 20.40, and the 10.69 Trifecta, $252. Race 3 at Parkland's. Okay, they're making a good line again at Canberra. Hopefully this will be over with before they jump at Caulfield in the last there. So let's go back. Here's take 2 of race 5. Once again, David Steele.
Thanks, Chris, as they move in here for race 5. Fingers crossed here, all runners pacing quite well, although JT's Girl is a little tardy. Stand by. Light racing. JT's Girl back 4 or 5 lengths when the starter let them go. Out wide though, Bucks Galore in the frost colours is carving across. The speed inside him though as the First Night is going through to assume the lead. Solidar will settle behind them. Christopher Dale's got away well, so's Lady Lane, and then Bob's Boy, the favourite. Only average away his midfield. There's 1 out 3 wide at the moment, posted Slick Signora. Behind them, Night Brewing, and then On a Bender. And a slow beginner was the second frost runner, JT's Girl. Running into the straight, they've more than 2 to run, and in front, getting his way, is Bucks Galore. Races down to the judge and given a hurry up there by Osmond with a metric mile to go. It's Bucks Galore, the front runner. Christopher Dale lands up second, the outside. Content to take the trail the First Night. Solidar's got into the 1-1. Behind them, Lady Lane hemmed away, and Slick Signora has been 3 wide now for nearly a lap. Night Brewing behind them outside of On a Bender. Bob's Boy is effectively last of the main division, and JT's Girl 5 away last. A lap and a half out, and there's plenty of speed on up front, where Harry Martin came out of the 1-1 and raced up on Solidar to join Bucks Galore, and Solidar looking for the front, and he'll get it. He'll head off Bucks Galore at the 1,000 metre or the 1,100 metre point, getting to third Christopher Dale. This means the First Night is now 3 back the inside. Night Brewing coming into the race nicely. Still Slick Signora's out 3 wide. She will sleep well. Behind them, Bob's Boy. He's only 4 lengths off the lead and travelling nicely. Behind them, Lady Lane. Well back is On a Bender, and JT's Girl is last. In the straight now, 8.50 out, first quarter 31.6, and Solidar has done plenty of work, but he's in front. He's in front by a couple of metres to Christopher Dale. Slick Signora still trapped out 3 wide. Night Brewing the 1-1. Behind them is Bucks Galore being tapped up. Now the First Night is 3 back the inside, badly placed. Bob's Boy's about to come wide on the track to make his sprint. Behind them, Lady Lane, JT's Girl, and On a Bender. Down the back straight they race though, and Solidar held together. Leads only a metre to Christopher Dale. Bucks Galore, I'd say, is gone behind the leader. Running on Night Brewing, and now Bob's Boy racing up 3 and 4 deep to join the leaders quickly. The First Night into the clear, but it might be too late as they leave the back straight in 32. Christopher Dale took a narrow lead over Solidar.
Ready to break. Off they go now, and El Buraimi in the middle of the line. Began reasonably. Jugabout was away quickly down towards the inside for Darren Gauci. Macefield jumped nicely. Trisgo is showing some pace. Zabuan is dropping in behind them about 5th or 6th in the green with the green blinkers. Coming to the post, and Trisgo first up for a long while. Went to the lead by 2 lengths to Macefield, a neck to Jugabout. 2 lengths Kalina Raffin 4th at the turn out of the straight. Then Kiwi Chevelle, Zabuan. A length and a half to Prince Charming, settling 4th to last on the inside. El Buraimi is behind it, followed by Seeing Stars and Wood Street last out of the straight. At the 1,800 metres now, and Trisgo the leader, more than 2 lengths clear. Macefield is second. Jugabout is third. A break of 2 lengths Kalina Raffin. A similar break in the field, Kiwi Chevelle. 1 1/4 Zabuan. Prince Charming the rail. Third last is El Buraimi. Seeing Stars is racing outside Wood Street with 1,500 to go. And the leader is Trisgo for Dwayne Dunn. Hasn't raced since July of this year, and he leads by 2 lengths. Running second is Macefield by the 1,400. Back in third placing Jugabout, 2 lengths Kalina Raffin, 4th over on the outside of Kiwi Chevelle, and then Prince Charming Zabuan. A couple of lengths El Buraimi, Wood Street, and a neck away to Seeing Stars last when they topped the rise on the back of the track. They're inside the 1,200 metres. Trisgo by 2 lengths to Macefield. About 2.5 lengths away is